So I think the message for this sneaker for me is you do you. Your personal style is dictated by what you like. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are not yet subscribed, please do subscribe because we are doing a giveaway and you gotta be subscribed. So if you get to 600 subscribers on YouTube, we're gonna be giving away another 10 t-shirts. This is the drip t-shirt that we made specially for our subscribers. You can buy them for like 1,200 pesos, but we are giving them away to you guys who join and comment below. So comment with your Instagram and your t-shirt size, and then follow along on Instagram. I am at Kayo Cosio on Instagram. Follow at Adjima Mag and at Honeycomb Manila on Instagram. All right, with that, let's dive into this unboxing and open up this sneaker. All right. Alright, so this is the Alternate Bel Air colorway. It's an alternate colorway of a sneaker that first launched in 2013, which was the original Bel Air Jordan 5, which was done in a gray suede, and then all the other features were the same. These are of course in tribute to Will Smith, who wore these sneakers extensively in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, or I should say he wore the Jordan 5s. Those were the Jordans that had just come out when they were making that series. Let's talk a bit about the sneakers themselves and then talk a bit about the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Now let's start with the outsole. And the outsole is done primarily in this ghost green colorway that you get on the toe and on the midfoot section. And then the heel and the forefoot are done in a translucent, transparent rubber with a herringbone traction on them. And then through that, you can see the Jumpman done in kind of a navy blue. And then we flip the sneaker over to its side, and in the toe, it's still made of that hard rubber that you get on the outsole toe. But you move towards the midfoot and towards the back, it's done in a polyurethane. So you have a polyurethane midsole, but it should be noted that polyurethane has a tendency to age and crumble with age unless you wear them. So this is a good point to mention, wear your sneakers. And that will help stretch out a lot of the glue, the rubber, the foam, and the leather, and wearing your sneakers will actually make them last longer. But yeah, when you get to that midfoot section, you see that the polyurethane is colored purple, and then you start to see the mismatching happen. Specifically here on the shark teeth section, you have pink on one side with like a teal speckle, and then on the other side you have a royal blue kind of color with the ghost green speckle, ghost green being one of the main colors on the sneaker. Moving towards the heel, you have embroidered the number 23, Michael Jordan's number, mismatching again in ghost green with a teal background, and then over here kind of pink color. And then you move towards the heel, and then instead of a Nike Air, you have the Jumpman, which is of course, Jumpmans appear more often on non-OG colorways, which you also see here on the outsole. It says Jordan instead of saying Nike Air. And then if you flip them over, you also have mismatched colors on this side, pink, blue with the ghost green. I like the usage of splatter print on this sneaker. Splatter print, of course, being very 90s. And this shoe, of course, being a 90s retro. Moving up to the upper proper, the whole thing is done in a genuine leather. It's of good quality. There's no synthetic here, so I would consider this all to be premium materials in that it is genuine leather. And you can see here in the edging of the panels that it is truly a leather on the entire sneaker. I'm lucky I got a nice pair that's smooth even on the toe, and it does have a very nice toe shape on this Jordan 5 Retro, true to the OG, and it's got that nice kind of flat and wide shape, which the original Jordan 5s in the 90s had. But when you move towards the back of the sneaker, I'm starting to see a number of bumps here on the leather towards the heel. It appears more on the left shoe than on the right shoe. But you know, that could go either way. You could say that that's a blemish because it is bumpy and not smooth. But you know, that comes from the animal itself, right? Like this came from a part of the animal's hide where you could see veins or something. So you could also say that that makes it more of a premium material because you're sure that it's genuine leather. I'm not sure. I'm okay with it. I would have liked if it was smooth, but you know, it is what it is. Moving up to more signature features of the sneaker, you have this rubber panel, the air vent area on the side, lateral and the medial side of the sneaker. And then you have the same thing underneath the laces on the tongue. Now the laces are in black, a black flat lace, but they do come with this ghost green pair of laces and you can swap them out. But you know, these being Will Smith's shoes, if you remember, Will actually wore these without any laces. So maybe in the on-foot shots, I'll do a shot wearing the ghost green laces and then a shot with the black laces and then one with no laces so you can see what that's like. Now you can actually do no laces on the Jordan 5 because the tongue is held in place by these neoprene straps that run down the sides of the interior of the sneaker. Talking about the interior of the sneaker, that's where it gets the most Bel Air-y, I guess. Not to skip over the tongue. The tongue, of course, is in a nylon kind of satin finish with, again, mismatched Jumpman, ghost green on the left pair, and pink on the right pair. I think that this is called racer pink. Let's see. Nope, it's not referred to on the sneaker. It actually says that it's a ghost green and court purple. Of course, yeah, court purple is kind of like another main color on this sneaker, and they only ever call out two colors. On the inside of the sneakers, where it starts to get really Bel Air, where you see all of these patterns that were originally launched on the 90s tribute Bel Air pair in 2013, which is probably ahead of its time now that the 90s are really back in full force. And then on the back of the tongue, you have the upside down Air Jordan markings. Now, a lot of people don't know why this Air Jordan is upside down. We saw in the Union 4s, which recently came out, people complaining about the tongue being sewn upside down. But that was something that people actually did in the 90s. They would tuck their jeans in behind this panel here, and it would cause the tongue to go forward, and then you could see the inside panel. And so it would say Air Jordan so that people could see the Air Jordan when you were wearing your jeans that way. And the reason why you would put the tongue out was because Michael Jordan would play with his tongue out, and everybody knew that. And then these lace locks, they say Nike on one side, but I think a lot of people miss this. The actual lace lock cylinder inside of that holder, translucent, transparent holder, actually has a Jumpman on it, and on one side it's in pink and on the other side it's in ghost green. On feet, these sneakers fit true to size. Comfort-wise, you are wearing a pair of retros. If you compare it to current day sneakers, they're not gonna be React foam. They are polyurethane midsoles from the early 90s. Again, if you are wearing a pair of retros like these, you're wearing them for the style. You're not really wearing them for the comfort. I did pick these up on Nike.com for retail, and they are still selling for that price. They still have pairs, which is strange because like the first time I tried to buy them, I woke up for the raffle on the sneakers site, on the sneakers part of the Nike.com/PH site, and they sold out and I lost that raffle. But the next day, it showed up again and I picked it up then because I do like them a lot. And the Fresh Prince story is very close to me, being a fan of Will Smith throughout that entire time in the early 90s. Now, it's kind of a funny story because I actually used to dress a lot like Will Smith in that era. And when I came back, I lived abroad. And then when I came back to Manila, I got made fun of a lot for the way that I dressed. I had a lot of Hammer pants, MC Hammer being the cool thing. And I had a lot of stuff that was neon and, you know, bright yellow, ghost green. Like Will Smith, I had the nylon cycling hats. And you know, I would wear bright colored singlets. And I would pull my socks up really high. And I got made fun of a lot when I came home to Manila, where everybody was wearing crew socks. And they were not pulling them up. They were wearing straight cut jeans and Giordano classics. And I was a weirdo. Like, I promise you, nobody appreciated the way that young Kayo dressed in those hammer pants and nylon shorts. And the funny thing, I think, is that I stopped wearing that stuff because I thought it wasn't cool. Because I listened to everybody else and I just stopped wearing them. And when time came for me to buy some new clothes, I stopped buying the things that I thought were cool. And that was probably a mistake. Funny thing was, that's exactly the story of Will Smith in The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. He came out of this inner city environment culture where they dressed a certain way and there was graffiti and street ball and all that stuff, and he was thrown into this new culture in Bel Air and he stuck out like a sore thumb. And then here I am all these years later, a couple decades later, trying to rediscover my childhood with sneakers like this and patterns like this and The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, which I just have been rewatching on Netflix. And it's strange watching it as an adult and picking up on some of those more adult themes that I did not recognize as a child, like Will Smith, like Will and Carlton getting pulled over by the police because they were driving their own car and they were black. And I remember all of those things very well, but not really understanding like the true racial undertones and not undertones, but the themes that were in that for race and drugs and personal style. That's what made The Fresh Prince of Bel Air special to me and why it was important for me to pick up this pair of Bel Air sneakers. So I think the message for this sneaker for me is you do you. Your personal style is dictated by what you like. And it's a bit easier to do it in 2020 with the internet, and it's easier to find people who like the same stuff as you. But in 1994, that was just not the case for me. And another really funny thing is that Will Smith just went on his YouTube a couple weeks ago and officially announced that the new dark and gritty remake of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air has been picked up for 2 seasons, and they're gonna be making that already. He's got this interview with a guy who created like a parody trailer, and they actually hired that guy to make the show. That guy's gonna be like a writer or a showrunner or something on that show. So I can't wait to see that. I want to see what the sneakers are going to be like in that show. Did you pick up a pair of Alternate Bel Airs? If you haven't yet, it looks like you can still get a pair. Even if you buy them resale, they'll probably still be about the same price or maybe even less, which is great if you want 5s, right? If you want 5s, this is a great pair. I wish you guys good luck. I wish you good health. If you got to go outside, make sure you wear a mask and make sure you're always washing your hands. All right, peace.